Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back here with some nothing but Netflix bonus coverage. Back here with Chappell. Chappell and I just finished 3 weeks of watching The Trust over on Netflix. And Chappell recently asked me, I said, we'd love to do some interviews. Chappell said, Rob, who would you want to talk to from this show? I said, you know who I'd want to talk to? Mama Jay. And as luck would have it, I went to my email and I got an email from the amazing Jay Patterson here, one of the winners in my mind from the Trust, who's here with us now. Jay, how are you?
I am good now. Thank you. And I'm so excited to be with you guys. I just love to listen to you.
Thank you, Jay. Really
Yeah.
appreciated that. We just watched so spoilers for the full season of The Trust on Netflix. Jay, how are you?
I'm good. It's been an interesting 3 weeks because then all of a sudden it's like I kind of had a little watch party last night and then it was a finale. And then I go, so is that it? you know,
Relatable. Yeah.
for a whole year, this has kind of been my life for a whole year. And then last night it was like, okay, so is it just over and bye everybody? It's weird. It's a weird feeling. I'm so out of my element. People are saying, you need to be Lay's commercials. You need to be, I just learned how to do stories on Instagram, where they ask you questions. so,
Yeah.
so that's how I am. I'm just,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, if anybody is listening to this interview and they didn't watch The Trust and they want to know a little bit more about Jay, Jay was the most senior member of this cast on a show with a lot of young people, a lot of influencers. And basically, it was a game about how much do you trust the people that you were with? And if you trust them, then you can share the money with them. But also, people had the opportunities to vote each other out. Jay, how did you get involved with something like this?
It was because of my comedy. I have a friend who has a YouTube show in California, and he had a lady comedian
Gasper?
on. No, not Gasper, Joel Marshall. He's on the West Coast, not East
Okay.
Coast. Yeah. And anyway, he had a lady comedian on who's from my area. And it turned out she was a casting director. So when this show came up, she said they were looking for a seasoned female. And she said she thought of me. I like that. Seasoned.
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 Yeah. Jay, have you
I'm gonna
ever
adopt that.
have you been a fan of shows like The Trust and watching like these competition reality shows in the past, or was this your first, go round in this community and in these streets?
Yes, I did not watch. You know what? I watched Married at First Sight and I watched Married at Blind or whatever, where they go in
Love
those
is
rooms.
Blind. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, there's none of this stuff. And so I think it's kind of apparent that I don't know what's going on the
Mhm.
show.
And Jay, I was just about to compliment you and say that you seem like you had a good grasp on the strategy of the game in comparison to some of your other co-stars here. You were a standout, so I'm actually kind of surprised to hear that this is your first reality competition show. You did
Oh
great.
yeah. Yeah, this wasn't even in my realm of life, really. It's been, I've had moments of overstimulation that I just kind of check out. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yes, everybody, of course, regarding Simone, you know, that type of stuff. I just thought, okay, well, there was just stuff going on with her, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, I don't think I like her. So then I kick her off, and then everybody's like pissed. So then I thought, okay, I'm not going to kick off anybody else.
Okay, so Jay, my biggest question when we watched this was: is this all real? Was this really like on the level and everything?
Yes, I heard you guys talking about that, and it was. It really is. I have been asked that. Uh, all the emotion, all the, for instance, this was filmed in March, I am full on equal rights amendment. I am raw because of, abortion issues and, we're losing our rights and all this stuff. So I go in there. And so, yes, I think one of you guys said, yeah, I did. Did I have to say something about a bird of the different feather? Well, and my friends at this watch party all said, we were all sitting there going, no, Jay, don't do it. So I mean, it was. So I don't. As far as
And
I
to be
know,
fair,
yes.
Brian loves birds. Wants he wants to
Rooster.
raise a kid named Rooster.
Yeah.
He loves feathers.
It's a baby of a different feather.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. So, and that was the thing too with the Jake thing. Oh my God. It was like, stop it. I mean, all of this calling us, it, it was just hard. I mean, how could I not say something?
Can you
I
show
am all
people
about
your shirt
protecting
that you're wearing?
people.
We got to see it when you were setting up.
Yeah.
Can you show your
Your
shirt
shirt.
to the
Oh,
audience?
yes.
Okay. MISOGNY. Misogyny.
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 Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Look.
And guess what? Even if I thought I spelled it right, I wouldn't have spelled it right. I didn't know there was another Y in there.
Mhm.
Jay.
How many people don't even know what that is?
Yeah.
And my friends will say, "What is misogyny?"
Yeah. You say, don't worry about how it's spelled, sir. Okay.
That's not the issue. Yeah.
Well, actually, it's not spelled correctly.
Wow. Mansplaining misogyny to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
We'll
need you to
call
spell
it.
check me.
We'll spell it however we want to spell it, right, Jay?
Right.
Yeah.
You get the meaning. You just get the meaning. Damn it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So was I the right? My buttons were just so pushed all the time. I'm not. I mean, I get along with young people, but I don't get along with some people who are not like-minded. And I know everybody doesn't think like me. But in truth, I mean, that's what I mean. It was not scripted. It was like, what the hell? Who are these people? It was, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Were you not hitting it off with the guys as well as you were with Winnie and Tolu?
Well, okay. I am a person who generally people like. I mean, that's not me bragging. I'm just one of those people. The majority of these people, they didn't seem to like me. I mean, you know what I mean? If I was trying to share a story or something like that, it was like, now shut up, old lady. That's kind of what I felt like. And so Gaspar and I, we were roommates, Gaspar and Bryce and Lindsay
Yeah,
and
you
I were
needed
all
him to
roommates.
help you with your bathing suit.
I know. Oh, yeah. So, that whole bathing suit thing. Now, when I'm talking about I got to clear that up. The reason I'm talking about it is I'm mic'd and I can't pull my swimsuit down and I got to go to the bathroom, right?
Right.
Okay. And I was proud that I didn't, what I said, but it was like, really, really.
You said don't air this. You told them.
Yeah, you told them. They backstabbed you.
Yeah. And I just thought, well, what can we at least say? I was the only one, of course, with a full swimsuit on. And yeah, so about that. So I just didn't know, really, honestly. I didn't feel, I mean, it wasn't like everybody hated me. All of my friends were worried about me going on a show like that because they felt like, what if you felt like they didn't like you? How would you feel? And I go, I am strong. I'm strong. I'm ready for this. I'm on all my good medications. I'm ready. Because I have depression. I have depression. I think, I have issues.
Yeah.
And so they were worried. And I go, don't worry about me. I am good. And then I wasn't. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, shit.
So, Jay, was it as tense as it seemed on the show where everybody was really, getting, especially like in the first couple of episodes, it seemed like that the tension was super high there in the villa.
It was. And remember, I literally did not know half of the stuff going on until I watched the show. Because you notice I'm not in the groups. Because one time they came up to me and I'd had a bad tummy day, right? And so I was just sitting outside and I'm like, ugh. And somebody came up and go, now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to vote so-and-so out. And we want to know, are you with us? And I go, I don't know. I said, I've just been shitting all day and looking at whales. I feel like crap. I mean, that's who I was. It was like, I don't have time to think about who I'm kicking off because I don't feel well. And so that's kind of who I was. So they kind of were like, well, okay. I don't know what they thought of me. I just didn't understand what was going on. I did not want to be portrayed as a screaming old woman on the show, which maybe I kind of turned out. I don't think I was screaming
No.
but
Did
I
you
wasn't.
scream? I don't remember you screaming.
Yeah, you weren't
No.
screaming.
I didn't scream, and I just kind of really wanted to be me. And everybody that have watched it said, you were you. You were you. I mean, I didn't have fancy clothes. Me and Gasper were chatting last night that we did not get the memo on what we should be wearing, because I have my white t-shirts and my Amazon sundresses and my Birkenstocks, right? So yeah, I don't know. And the only thing I got was the Simone thing, and I thought she is with Jake. I mean, it was really apparent. And so why would we want her on there? That was my only thing to think about. And then that's where she went. And then then it was the angel, the angel was gone. And I was going, really?
You're like, oh, y'all love her, huh? I didn't know.
Yeah, I did. And all of them, they're like, the angel. I'd have to sit at this table and go, yeah, but did you all not see this, and that she just was doing this? I don't know. It was just something. Okay, you're a woman. Yes. Do you have to be with us? No. But do you have to come into our room and hear us say stuff and then go tell Jake? Bottom line. So she was their angel.
Yeah.
It's like you caught the first spy. Eventually Lindsay will be outed as a spy as well. But yeah, you catching on that Simone was with Jake. That's a pretty big deal early on in the game, because if it was Simone and Lindsay running this information back, who knows what would have happened later on.
Do you want to hear the Lindsay story?
Please.
Of course I do. Are you kidding me?
Because this is sad. Okay, I still, you know what? It's hard for me to talk about that episode. I leave without crying. And that's the truth. And I'm trying not to telling you. And I don't know why. I'm going to go to my therapist next month and I go, why am I still crying over this? But in all truth, Lindsay and I were roommates and we were friends. We'd had many conversations, we're by the pool, we're this or that. So on the day, my last day, I'm sitting there and she's putting her makeup on and she goes, so who you voting off tonight? I go, I'm voting off Jake. I'm over it. And she got right up in front of me and walked right into his room. And I went, oh. And then I'm not kidding. You know how you just feel like I went, oh my God, oh my God. So I got on my microphone and I said, come in here. I need you to come in here. One of the production people. And I go, from now on, I am no longer Mama J. I was so mad, And then I walked down to Winnie and Tolu's room and I just walked in and I go, I just need to know, are you guys my friends? I mean, I've never had anybody do that, right? And they go, yes, Mom, don't call me Mama J. And then, of course, we see what happens at the table. And I felt totally hated at the table. Because during the day, because Brian was mad at me, the bird of a different feather thing. And so, of course, all the guys, and then I would walk into a room and people would walk out. I mean, really, it was a really long day. And so that's really emotions that people go through on that show. And I'm not going to not talk about it because it was hard. And I thought I was prepared, but that was a true shock to me that somebody like Lindsay, I had not a clue, not one clue. I have no idea the conversations go. I have no clue that she's saying shit about me when she's sitting down at the table. You know what I mean? It was weird. And so that's why I said, okay, apparently this is not good for my mental health. I got to go home. Yeah. And I got that great offer. I didn't have to kick anybody off. And that's just how it was. And I don't know why it still makes me so sad. Isn't that weird? Have you ever,
It's not weird. It's not weird, Jay. I mean, it was a game where that if you wanted to, everybody, you just could have just trusted each other, and then ultimately ended up splitting the money. Nobody had to be a mole. Nobody had to
right.
be a double agent. And then, you are confiding in people, and then you have no idea, like, and while it's all like in the rules of the game, and you could do that, it's very hurtful to find out that somebody you trusted was doing that.
Yeah, and it's not like, I did, I guess, I think a lot of my stuff was just to their face. I really wasn't doing a lot behind their back. I'm not saying I was perfect, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but my friends who were Tolu and Winnie and Lindsay, I was there. There was no talking about them or anything. And that's why I think I was really surprised. I just didn't know the level of all of that until I watched the show.
Yeah. Were you familiar with the outcome of the show before you got to see it air on Netflix, or was it spoiled for you? Did you know how it ended? Were you familiar with
I did
Tolu's move?
not, because
Mhm.
we were all in LA last week and for like little promo shoots.
Okay.
So we kind of had to see
Yeah,
everybody.
what was that like?
It was okay. Of course, Winnie and I had talked before we're going out there. We're going to get together. Lindsay reached out to me and we actually kind of had a nice lunch. We really did.
Okay.
Julie was around, and I mean, I kind of went out there and says, "Okay, you don't have to go out there and be a bitch, just go out." You know what I mean? And but I didn't talk to Jake or Brian, but everybody else, we were all cool because we're doing this Squid Game thing experience, which was
Oh,
really
okay.
cool. Yeah.
When
So
is
yeah,
the
that's
trust
when we all.
experience gonna be available?
Huh?
When is the trust experience gonna be available for
Yeah.
people?
Seriously, how much
I wanna
pain?
go in the vault.
The vault. Oh my
I
god.
wanna look at the whales.
I want to look at and honestly, those little whales saved me. And I tell you, the staff loved me. Really, nobody else thought
No
I was
doubt.
funny. They really didn't. Nobody. They just thought Gasper was hilarious and I was just some stupid old lady. That's what I felt. It was like, just don't even
They're
talk.
wrong. They're wrong.
Yeah, you actually are a fan favorite. Are you surprised with some of the good positive feedback you've been getting on the show? Because I mean, I've seen nothing but good stuff about you, Jay.
I know. Now I was called a poisonous snake last night.
By who?
Ah,
Where?
fooey.
Somebody called Jackie, so I just put her on my Facebook and I said, "Can I not just be a snake?" I mean, I have answered all, my old ass, and you're an old ass, and I go, where I live, I'm an old hide. I would just kind of refer to them, but really, I feel lucky because my friend Tolu and Julie and Lindsay, oh my God, talk about emotions.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could have handled that. Honestly, I was surprised.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
go back to, so you were in Los Angeles with
Mhm,
everybody, and
mhm.
then and what was it like being around the rest of the cast?
It was interesting. When I went to the studio, I saw Jewels, and Jewels is a great guy. And I know a lot of people really were upset about that. And I get that. But you'd have to be there as a female, okay? A stripper. Why? Why? And if you're seeing that all the time, I mean, it's not like we're turned on by it. It was like, oh, why? And would you button your shirt when we're eating? I mean, it was that. And I so wish he would have just been the cop. What did he think we would do if he said he was a cop? He would have made it to the end of the show. I
Mhm.
truly believe.
Well,
Because he wasn't. I'm not saying he was a nice guy, but it was like icky. Icky. Because my experience with male strippers are when I used to go to ladies' night and they chase you and drag you up on stage and hump you. And so that's where I'm going. I
mhm.
don't want that to be happening, right? So that's that.
Jay, we
It
were
was.
gonna call you to cover the new Magic Mike on Netflix next week.
Mm,
I know. I just watch those. I go. I scream. I remember one night. I'm not. This is not a lie. I was at a club and the guy chased me clear into the women's restroom.
Yeah.
oh my God.
And here's why. Now you guys don't know this, but I also have to wear a wig all the time, and I have alopecia
Okay.
universalis. I have no hair. So when those guys would chase me, I was afraid they'd pick me up and my hair would fall off in the bar, right?
Yeah,
I
can't
They
have
don't
that.
even they don't even think about that stuff.
It was like I had PTSD of strippers.
Emphasis on the D.
Yeah.
Or the P. Or the P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why I saw Joelle's, I saw Simone, we talked, and then Winnie, and then I saw Julie. You know, I mean, we all were friendly. It was all okay. Jake and I kind of gave each other side eye. And that was, we didn't have to say anything. And Gasper and I are chatting, and so it's okay. But it's not like I'll be good friends, I think, with Winnie and Tolu.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter on the others. I mean, we all did it, and yeah, they're not gonna come to my funeral.
Jay.
They might. I mean, unless you don't invite them. Yeah, if you invite me, I'll go wherever you want me. If you want to invite me, like, what? I'm not turning down a good time, and I feel like it's gonna be a party.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was. Everybody says, "Did you have fun?" And I said, "It was a job. It was a job, because there was a lot of preparation. There's blindfolds. There's not seeing anybody. You're sequestered." And remember, I think you guys, I don't know if you've mentioned it, but we have nothing else to do but just look at each other, right? I mean, we don't have TV, books. And so I said, I just felt like I was on a job, which was okay,
Jay, were you surprised with the outcome when everybody decided to share the money out of that 5 that was left?
Yes.
What did you think was going to happen?
Well, okay, I'm thinking about, episode 7, and, then Lindsay being gone, and then all of the stuff that's going on. And I kind of wish maybe one person. I do. I felt like there was a person that deserved to be kicked off, but it didn't happen. And, money, my secret was I used to be a millionaire. I'm not anymore. We spend our money, right? We're on our Social Security. We don't have pensions.
Yeah.
We have a few investments, right? So yeah, I want some money, but so what if somebody took some money and they got more money in the end? That all of that got kind of, I don't know.
Who should have been the person to be kicked off before the end? I don't think it would. Oh,
still, Jake. Yeah, you could have got
him.
So here's my thing, Jay. I'm with you. If we want Jake out, but we have to get Julie out, right? To get Jake out, because she's always going to vote, right?
Yeah.
So did you have a plan for how you were trying to get rid of Jake? Because it sounds like at the end of the day, it was either going to be you or him, and it needed to be him. But with him having Julie, what were you going to do? What was your goal?
Well, really, so when the Simone thing happened, Jake was gone that day. Jake was gone. He apologized to Tolu. He was doing an apology tour to all the ladies. Not so much to me, but everybody felt he was really sincere. And he came up to me and he started hugging me. I go, don't touch me. Don't come up and hug me. I mean, just don't. Boundaries. I mean, I am all women. I'm just all feminist all over the place. But so he was leaving that day. We had enough votes and he apologized to Tolu. And she goes, y'all, I believe it.
Okay.
And so that's why. And then from then on, and see, from then on, I just stayed out of it all, really. Because it's hard to be hammered with, well, then the whole thing, Julie messed up anyway, because she thought I was voting Jake out. Remember, that was very dramatic. I mean, that was like Who Killed JR on Dallas.
I feel like if you make it one more round, you're a straight vote, though. After the whole Lindsay thing, I think that right after that would have been your moment to strike. It really would have been.
As I watch it, I agree. I agree. But I think I was, if I could have just been a little more emotionally strong for one more day, because I did have Winnie and Tolu. And but I just remember, I'm not seeing this behind the scenes stuff, and everybody's saying I'm a sniper, I'm a cannon, I'm like, I thought it was interesting how scared Jake was of me. Did you know? Did you get that at those first 3 episodes? I mean, he kept saying, "That's Jay. She's a sniper. She's a loose cannon," and I'm just going, "What are you talking about?" But I felt it odd that he kept saying that about me. I felt like he really he was scared of me in a way.
Right. I
I
think
don't
you should
know.
take that as a badge of honor. I think that
I
even
think
people
so.
watching the show were like picturing you as a gamer. It's so funny to me to talk to you about this and you to say, "No, I felt like I didn't know what was going on. I was kind of out of my realm." But it really felt like you knew who your targets were, and that when you wanted them out, that you targeted them. Like the Simone thing, that was masterful. No one saw it coming. And if
Yeah.
you were able to kind of, like you said, hide your threat level a little bit more from Jake, you could have
Uh-huh.
got him. It was just that I think that the vibe you were giving off and the vibe he was getting off were just clashing too much. And
Yeah.
he just saw you coming a mile away. But I do think he had the
Yes.
right read. You were dangerous to him.
Yeah. And just think, if Simone had stayed on, that was another person with the guys.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Look, I
That's
think
why
you
she
got
had
the
the guys.
strategy down. You got it. It's just, I think like you said, I think they could feel that heat coming off of you. You were coming out hot. They
Yeah.
had to get out of the
Yes.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what's funny, because you kind of just meet, I love that one scene where I'm just looking for the birds, and why aren't the birds there? And and then they put that vulture above me. I love those clips. you know. And so was I playing dumb? No, I was really I was really trying to keep my shit together. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And this is about, I'm going to address this just a hair, because I am somebody with depression. I am somebody with anxiety. My friends were very worried about me going on the show. They really were, because they just didn't want something to happen that I would, whatever. And the kind of whatever did kind of happen. And even though, the staff took excellent care of me, they have to give you your medications, all of this, all of that was great. And so and I'm not a quitter, but it's like, this really just isn't good for me. And I think if people have issues like this and you go on a show like that, maybe I can say, you just be prepared. I was as prepared as I could be, being a person with depression and anxiety, and I have narcolepsy. I was wandering around the house at night, and they would always, that's just who I am. But to be in an enclosed group of people that you just don't know anymore was hard. And I'm not ashamed of it. I just had to do. But I agree. When I watch it now, I think, yeah, one more day. If I could have just said, okay, nope, I'm staying one more day, that would have been interesting.
Yeah. Jay, look, you did a great job, and we loved watching you. We want to know
Amazing.
what is next for you, because now you've done the trust, and then once you're in the Netflix algorithm, okay,
I
now they're gonna
know.
keep putting you on things. Okay,
Do
so
you
first let me
think?
ask you. I think
Do you
so. Squid Game season 2, the challenge.
You in?
I don't know, because we had the Squid Game experience. I didn't make it through any of the little tests. I couldn't hold still. That red light, green light.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
they
out. I
they
couldn't.
need 456 people,
I know.
Jay.
And you know what? I know you guys interviewed that other lady who was on there. Me and
Yes.
her are chatting. Yeah, but I don't think I don't want to be the season
Yeah,
lady one.
Leanne.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
cool. And I might even see her this weekend. She's going to be in Kansas City. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is where I have to sit back. Like when the show is over last night, yes, I have people saying things. You need to do this. You need to get an agent. You need to this. And I'm going, I don't know how to do that. I don't know. I just learned how to do stories on Instagram. My cat has followers. I don't.
Yeah, but look at you. You got here to do the interview.
Mhm.
You're on a podcast.
Yeah, you done a show, a podcast. You're getting influencer
Yeah.
questions and stuff. Jay, I
When
think
are
you
you
made
getting
it.
on TikTok, Jay?
What?
When are
What?
you going to be
TikTok.
on
I
TikTok?
am on TikTok.
Okay.
Hey.
but I don't have followers on TikTok. I have.
What?
You will after this.
Yeah, can't the rest of the cast tell their followers to follow you?
Do you think they want the? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm not ignorant. Just like trying to sign up on this today, I'm not ignorant, but I'm
You're learning.
somewhere that, yeah. So
Yeah.
tell me, you know what I want? This is what I want out of this whole experience is I want a Lay's potato chips commercial.
Okay. Well, we know somebody that got at least an endorsement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We might be able to get you some calls. We might be able to,
Yeah.
call in favor.
Even in LA, they gave me a bag of Lay's and filmed me.
Okay. So I think that you got to get the bag in every video you make where you're eating them, reacting, calling out the MISOGY. Have you talked about the Oscars yet, Jay?
No, but guess what? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Okay, look, this is one merch. And look at this. See if you can see this. How can you see this? You can't see it, can you?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I?
You're right here.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. So you are, I'm not your typical grandma.
Okay.
What is that?
You got trading cards?
Yeah, it's a sticker.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's a dope picture. Yeah. No,
with my avatar. It's just, I had them. We were trying to do it quick for a watch party.
Here's another one, Jay. Here's some more merch, okay?
Okay.
I'm not farting and laughing. I'm multitasking.
That was the fart heard around the world. Did you see that one article? Did Netflix do Mama J wrong by not deleting her fart?
Said yes. You said I don't want to air this.
But my comedy friend said that's comedy gold, girl.
Mm-hmm.
So here's where I stand.
I thought you were doing material.
It is. Oh my God, you just cannot believe my sets right now. Oh God, I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
But here is the thing: when you're trying to do all this, all you're doing is thinking about yourself. I can't spend my day. I can't. I can't.
Yeah.
I feel like this is when things happen to me. Is when I sit back, I take a breath, and then all of a sudden I get a call for a reality show. That is the god awful truth. That is how stuff happens to me. I've had an incredible 3 years just because I chose to be a stand-up comedian at 68. I was at the comedy club in Kansas City. Punky Johnson was there.
Oh,
right?
Wow. From SNL.
So, yeah. And she said this joke, and it was kind of like the fart thing. And I go out and I said, I just got to tell you, I had the same experience. She goes, oh, who are you? Blah, 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 blah. Well, you're a comedian. I go, yeah. She goes, do you want to do a 5? I go, are you serious? She goes, yeah. And the next thing I know, I'm on stage.
Wow.
I had a 5-minute set ready, did it. So that's what I mean. Things happen if I sit back.
Okay.
So, I may sit back and miss opportunities, but it's okay because this was incredible.
Yeah. What's coming up next in your comedy career, Jay?
Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay. This is funny. I'm in Topeka, Kansas. Manhattan is an hour away. So there's 3 other ladies and I are doing a Galentine comedy show.
Okay.
Now they are of other colors. So she texted me last night. She goes, I can't believe it. This show is getting all black and white. And I thought, our show in Manhattan? And she said, no, your show. But I thought our show was. Anyway, I have that coming up, and then I have another podcast, and then my friend who does lunch therapy, Joel Marshall, me and Winnie, and
what's lunch therapy, Jay?
Huh?
What's lunch therapy?
Okay, lunch therapy is a YouTube show. Joel Marshall is a comedian and actor. I met him on a comedy show on comedy classes in January 2021. I stalked him, and the next thing you know, I'm one of his roving reporters. I'm on there doing interviews. I'm doing silly stuff. So see that one little connection? You got to take advantage of little connections and not be shy. that's how I met the casting director. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, nothing really big. I have some little shows coming up, but you know,
Okay.
just I'm a hobby comedy comedian.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
send videos to people and I don't send shit in anymore. I'm just like, oh, whatever. Go ahead. You don't
Whatever.
want my old ass.
Yeah.
You don't want my old ass.
Jay, could you, for the listeners, let them know where they can follow you on social media and where they can see some of your comedy, maybe on your TikTok or I know you're doing Instagram stories now. Could you tell everybody where we can keep up with you?
Yes. Okay. So on Facebook, I'm just Jay Patterson. On YouTube, I am just Jay Comedian 9082. Now, if you type in just Jay Comedian, I also didn't know how to do YouTube. So I have like 3 or 4 sites because I kept forgetting what I was calling myself. So,
But you're getting so much material for your comedy.
Oh, I do. I have a lot of material on my YouTube. But yes, I'm going to straighten up. I am going to straighten up and let's get some good shit out there. But you know
Yeah.
what? I'm not, you know what? Would it be fun to be on Seth's show? Like, oh, are you Mama J? Blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
You're on a first name basis with Seth Meyers.
No, no, no. It could I be? Could I
Eventually.
be on a show?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You know what
100%.
I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh,
Am I? But I don't want to be one of those reality. I don't want to be a reality show jumper. I don't want to do that.
okay. Jay, forgot to ask you what about Uncle Brycey, the millionaire?
Yeah,
How's he doing?
I think he's doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce and I were friends. They didn't really show that, but we were friends. But I remember at the table, I go, you don't have to apologize for your money because there was other millionaires there. We know that. You know what? Just quit vilifying him.
Yeah, why? Who else was a millionaire?
Well, I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
assuming.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I wish I could say, oh, well, I mean, I do wonder about Lindsay. She does that. And I wonder about Brian. You got cows. Cows are expensive. You know what I mean? You got some cattle going on. Jake, he's got all this weird background stuff. I don't know. Does he have a black helicopter in his backyard? I don't know. I think he does. I don't know. So I do think he wasn't the only wealthy person there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for whatever reason, it was fine. We were friends. Yeah, I felt bad for how it happened, but he was my friend and I didn't vote him off. Or, the only person I did was, and were you the ones who said, am I a day drinker? No.
I don't think so. That doesn't sound like something we would say.
It sounds like something I said. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was me.
I think there was something, and I'm not a drinker at all.
Really? I've been sitting here thinking, I was like, oh, when I come to Jay's show, obviously we're gonna have a drink together. But now I drink alone.
Yeah, you will, because I don't drink. I haven't drank. I'm an alcoholic. On top of all my other shit, I'm an alcoholic. I haven't drank for 30-some years. Yeah. And I thought, you know what? They kept pouring champagne in my glasses, and I go, can we get some ginger ale, please? And then it was like, one more time, I'm drinking it. You know what I mean? Yes. So no, I'm not a day drinker. So all my behavior is just me. But somebody on or some comment was, she's a day drinker. She's just drinking all day long. And I'm like, no.
All right. We don't always get it right, Jay.
I know it's fun, but yeah, it's all good. I mean, the whole experience was good. It was dramatic. It was fun. It was exciting. And then it was like, after all my friends left last night, I'm like, oh, okay. Bye, everybody.
Listen,
I don't know.
On to bigger and better things after this, though. That the end of one story and the beginning of so much more. Jay, you are amazing. It's been so fun talking to you, and I'm so excited that you reached out to us because I'm telling you, you were easily one of the standouts on the show, if not definitely our favorite person on the show to watch. And so I'm just happy that you took that leap and that opportunity, and I'm excited to see what else is in store for you.
Well, and it's because of this. I didn't know I'm a podcast listener, but I didn't know there was reality show podcasts. So I was
Oh, yeah.
Googling. I went,
What we do.
oh, so I just kind of said, okay. And then when you said, Mama Jay, yeah. So thank you
We
guys. I really
manifested
appreciate it.
this.
And thank you
Yes.
for your patience with my stuff today.
We got it all worked out, Jay. Okay. Jay, thank you so much for spending time with us. Everybody check out what Jay is doing. Chappell, where can people keep up with you?
On Twitter at Chappelle's_show and on Instagram at ChappelleTNT.
And if you missed any of our coverage of the first 3 weeks of the Trust, you can catch that in our podcast, Nothing But Netflix, where we talk about everything that's going on Netflix, and not just Netflix reality every single week. Nothing But Netflix podcast. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.